pressure, remember the name.
Welcome to the Thrive Under Pressure podcast. I'm your host, Dan Vann, founder of Evolution Performance. On this show, we dive deep into the minds of world-class performers, from athletes and coaches to business leaders and mindset experts. We explore the tools, stories, and science behind high performance, resilience, and well-being. Whether you're chasing personal growth, athletic greatness, or business excellence, stress and pressure is part of the journey. Pressure is not your enemy, it's your edge if you know how to use it. If this resonates, hit subscribe, pass it on to someone who's ready to thrive under pressure. Enjoy the show. Cool team, welcome back to the Thrive Under Pressure podcast. I'm thrilled to have one of New Zealand's best ultramarathon runners, Sam Harvey, on the podcast. Just to give you a bit of insight into Sam, I'm sure if you've been following some of the crazy feats he's done lately, you would know. But if you haven't, Sam isn't just an ultra marathon runner. He's a record-breaking backyard ultra specialist whose performances redefine human endurance. In one mind-bending feat, Queensland's Dead Cow Gully Backyard Ultra, which was just last month, and ran 118 consecutive hours, covering roughly 790 kilometres. So setting a world record before collapsing on round 119. Earlier in 2023, pushed through 102 hours at the same event to assist world record holder Phil Gore. Also holds New Zealand record 677 kilometres and 101 loops, and has claimed titles like Dead Man Gully Win, which was this year. Is it last year? Runner-up at the Tarawera 100 miler, top 10 finishes at Big Backyard Ultra World Champs. And not just a runner, Sam is also a seasoned coach, mental skills and performance coach. So really looking forward to digging deep into how to get your mind through some pretty dark places, I imagine. So welcome, Sam.
Cheers for having me.
So yeah, just how's the body? How was it normal? What do you expect after that? So was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean that one's an outlier. Yeah, what's today? Today's Wednesday. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I finished up with the race. I mean, yeah, you run for 800 kilometers, your body's going to be pretty thrashed and trashed and not very good by the end of it all. And yeah, I mean, this one was a little bit different because it was a bit further than my super long ones typically go, and I was encountering a few problems from early on. So yeah, rather than running and executing and doing all the things, I was running with a few niggles, and when you run with a few niggles for that period of time, the wheels fall off and you get all sorts of other aches and strains. And so last week wasn't so fun mentally, physically, spiritually. But I've kind of turned a little bit of a corner this week, which is pretty typical. Normally, like 100-mile point-to-point race where you're just thrashing the tits off it for like 15 or 16 hours. I typically say in about 10 to 14 days I'll be back to training, and it's pretty similar with these super long backyard ultras. That being said, like up to about like 300 miles ish, I might start training pretty heavily like only a week later, and I'll be back up to like 100-mile weeks, within a week or two.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm just been chilling because this was a little bit more than my typical, even though my typical is usually pretty out there. So I'm just being patient because she was a big run, and I'm just letting my body do its thing.
Did you? So was the guy that finished the one extra loop? Was that Phil as well in that one?
Yeah.
So are you two pretty close? I imagine. Or not, or is it the other way around?
We both run good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but in terms of like off the race thing, are you like pretty close off, or is it more of a like?
No, we both run good, and that's where it ends.
Okay, right. Yeah. So you would have a rough idea of how many laps you were thinking it would take?
Well, so going into that race, the world record was 100 and the world record was 116 hours, 777 kilometers. I was going into that race with the intention of racing 150 hours, which would be
Oh,
1,005 kilometers. But obviously, dealing with the problems that I was, it
yeah,
wasn't going to happen on this
yeah,
one.
right. Yeah,
But yeah, either way, the intention was to break the world record,
yeah,
which we did.
yeah,
And then, yeah, did a couple more on
yeah,
that.
nice.
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, just lost my desire to be out there really,
yeah,
and
yeah.
allowed the body to shut off because yeah, I was toast.
Is there much banter between you, like, or is it you just head down and
Uh,
or
between
sledging or
most
anything? Or,
between most runners there is, but he typically does his thing. He just
oh,
he
yeah,
just runs solo and
yeah,
mechanical and robotic and whatever, and he
yeah,
does his thing. A lot of us other guys, we'll chew the fat and
yeah, yeah,
keep
yeah.
each other in there and kind of have a bit of a
You have
party
to,
up
right?
there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much. So that made the last kind of not quite 24 hours of the race pretty average because it was just the two of
Just
us
two of
out
you.
there. Him
Shit.
and like he's having pretty much a perfect race, and yeah, you almost get stronger through those races as you get deeper
Yeah,
into it when you are
yeah,
running a perfect race because you feel
yeah.
you feel like you're the man, especially if the other dude is
Yeah, like,
definitely not the man, which I
yeah, yeah,
wasn't today
yeah,
or for a
yeah,
series of days.
yeah, yeah. Cool. So just before we dig deeper into that, what sort of like what got you into ultras and just crazy running feats and stuff? Were you just doing a bit of running and then just got further and further out, or have you always
Yeah,
been
no, I
into?
mean, like most people, running was just a thing to keep fit. And footy
Oh yeah,
was my main sport when I was in like high school and university. And the more you run, the more fit you are, and the more fun you have playing rugby. So that was kind of it. And then kind of in like university and later years, I guess I was a little bit ADHD and just like very sporty and trying to do all the sport. And I was playing rugby, I was boxing, I was doing mountain bike races and triathlons and duathlons and surfing and anything that I could get my hands on.
yeah,
And I kind of thought that like eventually I'd become a pro athlete and that would kind of be my brand. I'd be the guy who did everything, but like, yeah, when you do everything, like you might be okay at everything, but you never master anything. And then as I got, yeah, further down that path, more and more endurance sports and such. And then, 2022, I cut out all the other sports and just decided to go all in on ultra marathon. So 2022, I decided to go pro, went all in, and then 2023 I went pro.
oh, so it's not been that long. Wow, nice. And have you, has your body just grown accustomed to it? Was it naturally reasonably resilient with doing that stuff, or do you just push yourself into holes and just get through it?
Yeah, I think your body adapts. I mean, yeah, your
Yeah,
body adapts to
yeah, right.
anything that you put it through, and I think my body adapted. I built a pretty big aerobic base over the years. Lots of running, lots of other endurance sports, lots of cycling, and things like that. And yeah, probably honed my mental resilience by just yeah being in the trenches, like playing
Yeah, nice.
rugby, fighting, training, doing all the things, being in a competition setting, not just getting good and fit, but also getting mean and learning all the techniques required for someone who wants to actually race, not just to be fit. Because there's a lot of things in that race day
Oh yeah,
scenario that are very different to just going for a jaunt by yourself.
yeah, yeah. Imagine. Um, and did you have a mental skills coach at that point, or did you learn that stuff you just self-taught, or?
A year, pretty much all, yeah. I mean, like, listen to a lot of motivational speech. So 2017, I was overseas. I was traveling, playing footy, doing a few little running races, just short ones here and there. Yeah, for whatever reason, just decided to start listening to a lot of motivational chat from all the good speakers that you've probably heard of.
Yeah,
and even the ones that you haven't, and yeah, just pretty much listen to that instead of music for probably two,
Yeah,
3 years, and just learned all the different mantras and mental techniques and just added to my toolbox, and yeah, have really utilized all of that in my life, in my running, in my training, in my building, in my business, and everything.
yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. Because I think obviously we both do teach mental skills. I think, and a lot of people, one of the hardest things I think about mental skills, right, is having the self awareness and having that external person ask questions, right, and stuff like that. So you must be obviously pretty self aware, and just I guess you're out on the road a lot. You can self reflect, have a lot of conversation with yourself, running for hours. I suppose that's kind of how it works.
I've had a lot of time to think.
Yeah, yeah. Do you normally run with like music or anything like that? Or
I was heavily reliant on music slash motivational speech for a long
okay.
period of time.
Yeah,
And it's been very recent, like probably in the last like 12 to 18 months, maybe even less than that, where I've like really gone off all of
right.
that. I'll still use it every now and then, but I'm like, I don't know, some days I almost feel like I've finished Spotify.
You clocked it.
I've clocked it, I've done them all, and there's nothing new. And more inclined these days to just, yeah, run to the sound of my feet and just take in the scenery and listen to the birds, and
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
probably think a bit more. And also, yeah, I think it's a massive advantage to you if you're able to do endurance sport, cycling, running,
Yeah,
whatever, and not need the distraction. Like you're able to like lock in, and it's like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, and yeah, you're dealing with your thoughts, but yeah,
yeah,
you're overriding your thoughts rather than having somebody else drown those thoughts out.
yeah, nice. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Nice. And then, so let's go into the race. I honestly can't fathom how. I mean, I'm not a runner myself. Like I do CrossFit. I love fitness and stuff, but I'm short, sharp, strength based sprinting. That's my stuff. And I've got a bit of ADHD myself as well. So, and I'm sure I could run if I trained myself to, but it's just something I haven't done a lot of. So I did a half marathon on Outward Bound, and it almost killed me. Obviously, I wasn't training for it. I didn't train for 3 or 4 weeks before it, um, but it does boggle my mind that you can run for that many days. I'd just be interested in how you've met. Like, I guess you just slowly, like, the more often you do it, you just push your capacity gets bigger, and your stress tolerance improves, and it just becomes your norm, and you keep pushing it. Is that how it kind of happens, or is it?
You just try not to think about it too much, really. It's like less thinking, more doing. So just
Yeah,
turn up and do it. And how do you
yeah,
do it?
right.
Do your job.
Yeah,
What's your job? I mean, at the end of the day, with a backyard ultra, it's simple. It might be really, really long, but at the
mm,
same time, it's like it's a 6.7 kilometer loop, and you've got to run it within an hour.
yeah,
Anybody can do that. It's like,
yeah,
well, let's break it down into that. Right, just run this loop. It's like, what do you need
mm,
for an hour? It's like, cool. You need to eat, you need to hydrate, and you need to rest, recover, maybe tend to some wounds or something. It's like, cool. Just do that. 1 hour after another, hour by hour, tick it over like clockwork. And it's like, that's all it is. It's like, it might be a really big thing. It might be 800 kilometers of running, but it's like,
mm,
it's just 118, 119 times that one hour. So just do that 1 hour, one at a time. I mean, eventually it's gonna get hard, and you deal with it when it gets hard and whatever the problems are. But yeah, that's kind of how you do it. You hone your systems and your processes. I mean, it's not my first one of these.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I've done probably at least 16 of them now, I think. Um, and heaps and heaps of other racing. So yeah, like
yeah.
I know running, and I know ultra marathon, and I know pain and endurance, and trying to block that out, and trying to maintain the positive thoughts and all that. So yeah, it's just turn up, do your job, don't complain about it, own the situation, hopefully go home with a
Yeah, no,
yeah. So that race again was atypical because I got
Oh, you're
saw
slower. Yeah,
saw
right. Yeah,
early on, which slowed me down. So on that race course in particular, I would love to be doing 40 to 45 minutes
okay.
per loop, every
Yeah.
loop.
Yeah, right.
And that's pretty much what I was doing up until things went awry. Then I just dealt with it, and it got a bit slower. It got really slow at one point. Like I think it was the fourth night, and so we'd been running since Saturday morning, and it is the early hours of Wednesday morning before sunup. And I was just getting slower and slower and slower, and I was running some of my slowest loops that I've ever run in any one of those races. And then they blow a 3 minute, a 2 minute, a 1 minute whistle as warnings before they send you out on a loop.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever come in from a loop when they're blowing a warning whistle. And
Yeah.
they blew the 3 minute warning while me and Harvey were like still like coming in. And I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my mum thought I was out after that. My mum was like,
Yeah.
oh, no, he's done. And I proceeded to run a 45-minute loop, come in with 15 minutes to rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so if you're getting those, if you're getting this, if the ideal in there and you get 15-minute break, is it do you actually can you do like power naps in those 15 minutes at all?
yeah, no, 100%. That's why I like. I mean, you can come in and with 8 minutes to spare and still sleep for a minute or two
Right.
minutes, and then like get woken up, depending on how tired you are and how good you are at like crashing to
Mm.
sleep.
Mm.
And if you can run a 40 or a 45-minute loop, then you might be able to get like a 10 to 15 minute sleep. 10 to 15 minute sleep's awesome. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if you can
Yeah.
bank a few of those in a row, you feel pretty damn good. And if
Mm.
you can, in some races, if you're lucky, you can literally smash that out every loop, and yeah, you feel amazing for getting all of that sleep. And yeah, for me, I've had a few different races where like some it's like just put my head on the pillow, turn all the lights out, and it's like boom, I'm out. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. This was not one of those races. I didn't sleep on the Saturday night, which was unfortunate, but like that's never too much of a stress because I typically say like you might not sleep on the Saturday day, you might not sleep on the Saturday night, but probably by the Sunday day you're going to be starting to get a bit tired, and you like I will quite often have my first sleep during the day on Sunday, and then you'll have
Yeah.
more sleep on Sunday night, which was what the situation was with this one. And because I wasn't able to get to sleep as well as I normally do, I threw my noise cancelling headphones in and like put some like go to sleep playlist on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was super effective. I didn't think it was working sometimes. I thought I was like listening to the music, and then mum would like wake me up, and I had been snoring or something. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I could hear the music, but I was actually asleep whilst I was listening to
Yeah.
music.
Oh, well. And then do you have to like use some like down regulation breathing to try and lower your heart rate and stuff like that, or yeah, usually pretty like
Nah,
I guess the speed you're running at is the breathing's gonna be comfortable, I guess, is it?
yeah, you typically find with these races that, especially if you're going for like multiple days at a time, first day slash night, your heart rate might spike a wee bit, and then
Mm.
whatever happens within your system, and your heart rate starts to drop. And then so I might be sitting day one with like a heart rate whilst I'm running of like 140, 150, even into 160, whatever. I'm not concerned. And then by day two, day three, day four, it's like dropped to anywhere from like 75 to 110, and it pretty much just sits there in those low values.
Yeah, right. And is that just your body protect in sort of safety mode kind of thing, or is it just the pace you're at?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor,
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah.
yeah, I've never really done too much research into that, but that's typically the trend that you'll see with from that data.
I couldn't imagine running that long with a high that that would fuck you up, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
it must do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crazy. Well, that's cool. And okay, so and then um Oh, so when did the first sort of hurdle come in that that you're starting to have some niggles come up and stuff? Was that pretty early on?
I think it was on Sunday night / Monday morning. So I was like
Yeah,
pretty early into the race. I was dealing with
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like I had some like tight bits and pieces like on the Saturday.
Mm,
Yeah, and that's typical. That's very typical, at least for me, of these races. It's like the first 24 to 48 hours are typically the hardest because realistically, you've got the bulk of the work still ahead of you for all that time, and you're still like you're still running a race. It's still hard and all that. Like you're still running an
mm,
ultra marathon. Like first day that's 100 miles. First 2 days that's 200 miles, and it's like and
mm,
still most of the work is ahead of you if you're pushing into big territory. So that can
mm,
get to you a little bit, but at the same time, you're going from your fresh, healthy self into your new level of messed up, and that's the way you're going to be. And so yeah, typically those first 24 to 48 hours are pretty rough because you're going from healthy to unhealthy and you feel it the whole way. And then it's like 48, 50 hours and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm messed up, but like this is my new normal. And then you carry on and it's all sweet from there on.
crazy. And so, I remember talking to you earlier in the week when you had posted that thing about like actual physical failure. Like, I think you mentioned it. Like, that must be pretty rare, right? Because most people's brains kick in before you get a chance to even get close, right? Like, it's like, I
Oh,
guess,
100%.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Your brain's there to protect you from
Mm,
everything. Yeah, it will 99.99% be the limiting factor. Like it's very rare. It's like, I mean, you might like stumble and fall and break something
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
broken, but it's very, very hard to push your body to complete failure where it's like, yep, I'm done. I've
Yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah.
only achieved it twice in
Oh, really?
my entire sports career. So yeah, you'll always be the most limiting factor. It doesn't matter how good you are,
Mm,
whether
mm,
you're a beginner athlete or right up to the top level. Like I've seen them all and raced at world champs and such. Even at world champs, like the best guys in the world, most of them eventually it's a decision.
yeah, yeah.
The body might slow down to the point where it can't complete a loop in the allocated time and
Mm,
they get kicked off the course. But somewhere along the line they made that decision. They allowed their body to switch
mm,
off and
yeah,
stop
yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah. So, can you tell us a bit like what that experience is like when you do fail? Like, was it like just nervous system shut down and you just can't move anymore? Like, what's it like?
I mean, for me, it was like the legs were trashed.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I must have been kind of in that 50-hour-ish area when my Achilles blew up,
oh, yeah.
and I've had that take me out of a race before,
Mm,
and it's not something that you can typically fix. Like once the Achilles
mm,
goes and it inflates to the point where it's like 3 times the diameter of the other Achilles, you're like, yeah, this is game over. It doesn't come back from that.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's trying to swell up and essentially protect you from doing further damage. And yeah, I managed to hold on and run through that and do a little bit of care around that area and run through but in the process of that favoring that Achilles tendon, I
For the
smashed
other.
everything else. Because like obviously you compensate, and if you
Mm,
overcompensate, then yeah. So my both my Achilles were busted, my massively inflamed and swollen up. My ankles were cankles, and they were just yeah, they were not good. Just had I had a very low range of motion through a lot of parts of my legs, and therefore I was just running on chopsticks, just kind of shuffling along, not getting any dorsiflexion in each
mm,
leg, and as a result, you don't run very efficiently or very fast. I was just slowing and slowing and slowing and slowing. The more I slowed, meant the less rest time I got, meant the less sleep I
no,
got, and like the more sleep you get, it's not just good for your brain, but it's also good for your body. Like your body is going to feel better for the more sleep you get. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle. Like if you're
mm,
strong and you keep running fast, like you're going to stay strong and
Yeah,
potentially get
right.
stronger whilst the week get weaker.
Mm. Yeah,
I've been
true.
in many of those races before, and yeah, so I ran and I ran and I ran, and that last, I don't know, from loop, I think it was maybe 103 to 119. It was just the two of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was sucky because most of that was through the dark, and
Yeah, right.
it's dark, it's boring, the night's so long, and it just feels like it's never going to end. Like the sun goes down at like 5:30, and then like you're running for hours and hours and hours, and you're like, oh, the night must be almost over, and then you
Yeah.
check your watch, it's gonna be midnight, and you're like, damn, the worst is yet to come. Taxes your soul a little bit. And but yeah, as far as like going to failure, like yeah, eventually I just didn't want it enough. It's just
Yeah.
like, this sucks, and it
Yeah.
sucks for a very long time, and I'm okay if the legs stop working at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm in pain. I've been in a fair amount of pain for a long time, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready to be done with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you couldn't really run that well, and I just basically like legs were like, fuck this, and I was like, fair enough, bro. Like, let's have a lie down in the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did that last lap take?
So the last loop I completed was 118. Uh, I don't know how long that took in the end.
Yeah. Would be
I
tight,
would
was it?
I would have to check the
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I got like 100 or 200 meters out onto loop 119,
Oh, you did start the next one. Yeah.
and then just kind of shuffled, staggered, stopped, attempted to shuffle, almost fell over, didn't fall over, stood there with my thoughts, and then I figured, stuff this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and see you later.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so like I imagine like the rest must be awesome, but is it almost worse if you don't get much? Like it's that like, oh, you've got a chance to sit down, then you got to get back straight back up if you get like a couple of slow laps. Like, the rest is almost, or is it just any rest, good rest?
Kind of, it's and then once you start to drag the chain,
Yeah.
and the sleep's getting shorter and shorter, and I mean it's relentless because it's hour after hour. It's all like, yeah, you're always going to sleep for a very short period of time, and then getting woken up,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, again. Yeah, it chips away at you. But yeah, those 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute sleeps,
Yeah.
the real short ones, when you were struggling on the last loop, and you were struggling on the loop before that, and you're just not rested, and then somebody wakes you up when you just wanted to
Go to
stay
sleep.
asleep. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is a little bit PTSD inducing. I can
Yeah. Yeah.
confirm that.
Do you other than obviously the actual running, do you do any other forms of like trying to just like super long ice bars or just anything like that where you're trying to push yourself out into discomfort and stuff?
Not so much anymore. Like, yeah, I've spent a lifetime of doing all sorts of physical challenges and such. But yeah, like running's my thing now, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do something silly, and just see how hard the mind and how long the mind can hold on. But yeah, not
Yeah.
not so much anymore.
So you pretty much stick to the running part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. What about yeah, so like what sort of specific do you do much like visualization or breathwork stuff or anything like that throughout your racing?
100%. Yeah, a lot of visualization, especially like in the race, like just visualize yourself winning.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Do you do like pre-mortems like where like so for example, like if things aren't going well, what you do to sort that out? So, like if like you
Things
had
aren't.
the niggles.
Yeah, I mean, like with the niggles and the aches and the pains and the whatever, that's just problems, and you fix problems, you deal with them. It's like got a tight calf. Cool. We're gonna rub some stuff on it, and we're gonna try and release that calf. Got a like can't stop throwing up. Cool.
Yeah.
Take we're gonna take some anti-nausea pills or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, those are the problems that you've got to fix. But yeah, obviously, if you're going downhill and it's starting to affect your mental state, then yeah, there's all sorts of things to do to fix that. I mean, like you might just want to throw some music in, throw in podcasts, throw in like something to listen to like drown out your own thoughts. You can't listen to your own thoughts if you can't hear them. There's that. There's mantras, so just like repeating whatever is important to you, whatever helps you. It's different on a case by case basis between athletes.
Yeah. Do
Me,
you have
I use a lot.
do you have multiple ones of those for you, or do you just have like a couple,
I
or
have
the ones
multiple
different
ones.
situations?
Yeah, multiple, depending on the situation. I'm a little foggy still from the race, so I can't really remember too much. But also, just like a lot of positive self-talk, like
Yeah.
that's been something that's really dug me out of holes in multiple races to allow me to go from you're pretty cooked
Yeah.
and this is going in the wrong direction to having a very positive result. It's just again, it's you can't hear your own negative thoughts if they're drowned out. So you just drown them out with your own positive, literal out loud voice, and it's just like you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might sound like a nutter to anybody who's around you, but it works and it will
100%. Yeah.
get you back on the right track. Also, just forcing a smile,
Yeah. Yeah.
forcing a big cheese, and running like that, and eventually, like you'd be surprised. I mean, like
Yeah.
if you scowl and you've got a shit face, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's definitely not going to help the situation if you're thinking bad thoughts. So if you can at least like smile through the pain and carry on, it's definitely going to help.
Yeah. Nice. Heard I heard on a podcast. Is it Ruth Croft? Is she the other ultramarathon, right? I think she does. I think she's more like. Is it Ruth Croft? I don't. She's not
Yeah,
like. Yeah. Yeah. She was talking about how she reframed. Like she used to hide from the pain cave, but now it's like chasing the pain cave. So it's like just reframing it as a different way of, looking at that pain. I think that's as you say, like the way you hear, like at CrossFit, people say it all the time. Like you get into the first they walk into they see the workout on the board because they don't know what it's going to be, and then it's one of their weaknesses, and they're straight into like, oh, this is going to suck. I'm going to suck. I'm going to be last. It's like, well, no shit. If that's what you think, that's the attitude. That's what you're going to get.
100%.
What about what do you do through your recovery stuff for the last couple of weeks? You sauna, obviously, ice bath, stretching.
I've had one sauna. I need to get my own because that would be better, so I don't
Yeah,
have to rely on other people.
yeah, yeah,
Got a hot tub here, so been trying to use that as often as I can. I have not been running yet, but yeah, typically like the sooner you can get into at least some low impact cardio or any cardio, whatever, like you're gonna get.
cycling would be good, wouldn't it? Less
Yeah,
impact.
cycling's good, but it's been pretty cold out here, so I just haven't been super inviting. But yeah, any cardio is gonna get oxygenated blood flowing throughout the body and promote your recovery. So that's a pretty key one. Bit of stretching, bit of self massage. I think I've had 3 actual massages by 3 different practitioners, and that's just to help loosen things up and get things moving. So that's been pretty key.
Your feet must be in bits, are they, for like ages?
Yeah, my feet were trash for like a
Yeah,
good week. They're not so bad
blisters,
now, but
and stuff.
they're not fresh. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they're looking a lot better now. Give them another 2 weeks and they'll be sweet.
yeah, right, yeah.
No,
Just
I've
blisters
got no
and
skin on one of my pinky toes, and yeah,
oh, really?
plenty of skin off from a few blisters or calluses or whatever. Yeah, no, they're looking pretty sweet, which is cool. Yeah, give me another week, give me another 2 weeks, and I should be looking pretty good.
Do you go through like multiple shoes and socks during that race?
Yeah, I think I was changing my socks. I was changing my socks roughly every 12 to 16 hours, and for the most part, I was doing a shoe change at those times as well. So if I changed if I changed socks, I would change shoes. I'd do a bit of foot care and just like wash everything, and like if there was anything rubbing, then I would maybe do some blister care. I throw on a fresh set of socks, throw on a fresh set of shoes. Had plenty of like brand new socks with me, which was good. And then I'd give my used pair of shoes to my team so they could just go and bash the hell out of them and get all the dust and the
Yeah.
grit out of them, so I could then pump them back into the rotation eventually. But yeah, I had plenty of shoes with me to allow me to get through at least a few good days before I was reusing shoes again.
Yeah. And so you do have a few, you can use like external people to help you in your transitions and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. You're not gonna run for 100 hours without crew. The crew are the most important part. You're
Yeah.
just running. They're doing all the hard stuff. They're feeding you and cleaning you and doing all the peripheral stuff. And the more stuff they do, then the easier it is for the runner, because
Yeah.
then you can just focus on running the loops, and they they cater to you. So my mum's like a godsend on that front. Like,
Yeah.
she's crewed every one of my backyard ultras,
Oh, really?
so she's got a hell of a lot of experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Um, so when I was doing some research on this, is that there was something came up around the assist runner. Is that like, how does that work? Is that like when someone's trying to get someone through a race?
Yeah, so like with the backyard ultra, it's last man standing, and it continues so long as there's at least two people left in the race.
Oh,
So
yeah.
long as there's two people, you will continue doing loop after loop after loop. Once it's down to one person, you're only allowed to do one more loop. So
Gotcha.
essentially, you need two people. You need the guy who comes second in order to achieve whatever you achieve, because
So the assist is
otherwise,
like the second place. It's just
Assist
a
is
name.
assist is second place, but assist also dictates the end result of the
Of
race
course.
for the winner,
Way you
because
can run.
the winner can only run one more
Yeah.
loop further
Yeah.
than
True.
second place. So yeah, they call it the assist, which
Gotcha. So you can't get a
first,
world record without the other guy being a gun as well.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about quitting at like loop 103, 104, which was like 12 loops, 13 loops short of the world record.
Yeah.
But I didn't rally. But yeah, it would have denied him the world record. That's for sure.
Yeah. Is that what kept you going, or are you just stubborn as
I
fuck
mean,
and just
yeah. At the end of the day, I came there for the world record, and so like either way, I wanted to break it. The first time I was at that event, I equaled the world record. I ran
okay, yeah.
101, and the world record was already 101, and they've been trying to. I was pretty unwell for like a good 10
Mm,
hours, and they
really?
were they were trying to like get me to stop
Mm.
for like 10 hours leading into that. And I was like, no,
Oh,
no,
really?
like I'm going to get the world record. And then like they had just put so much pressure on me to pull out that I equaled the world record, stopped, and
Yeah.
allowed Phil to
Oh,
get
yeah.
to do one more and break the world record. Where in like I know how that feels to equal the world record
Yeah, yeah.
and
You
not
didn't want
break
to
it.
do
And
it.
I could have 1,000%,
Yeah.
with 1,000% broken the world record. I was running better in that race than I was in this one.
Right, right.
I was running faster at 101 2 years ago when I didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
very
yeah.
into all this. This time I was
Mm,
super injured, and so yeah,
mm,
I was at least going to go out, break the world record, go past 116, and yeah, I was cooked after that. It's the
yeah.
second time I've at least been a world record holder, and then only got to keep it for an hour. So
Yeah.
yeah, got two world
Yeah.
records which I haven't got to keep. Only held them
Oh,
for
I
one.
see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice. So if you, I mean, it's obviously pretty hard to guess, but if you're feeling good and you had those no niggles come up, what do you where do you think they could the like the max is? It's
So I
obviously
was aiming for 150 hours,
yes.
which is 1,005 kilometers.
Right.
I think it's I think it's bullshit and bravado, but Phil supposedly has a plan written out to 180 hours. I call bullshit, because once you're further than you've ever gone before, you're further than you've ever gone before,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Basically
your body
significantly
and your
further.
mind and all of that, they do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll race again in October at World Champs, and
Oh yeah,
he'll be there, I'll be there, all the other boys will
yeah.
be there, and we'll run until everybody's dead again.
What's the format of that one?
Same race, yeah,
Oh,
same
it's the
last
exact
man
same
standing
race.
backyard ultra. It's just a different course.
Oh, it's always 6.7.
Always 6.7, because after 24 hours that adds up to 100 miles. So every 24 hours you accumulate 100 miles.
Right, and where's the next one? Where's the World Champs?
So the individual world championship is always in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's on, like, the old boy who created the sport. It's on his farm.
Oh really?
You run the day loop around the forest in at his house, and then you run
Is that the one they've got a Netflix movie about?
a Netflix movie.
The
No,
doco?
it's on. There's docos on YouTube about that race, and he also created the Barclay, which is like
Or maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
the nasty race that most
Yeah, right.
people have heard of.
Right. Okay. That's must be what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Crazy. How long's that? How long's that this backyard ultra format been around?
I want to say since 2011. Yeah, he dreamed it up when he was like a young fella, like many decades before I was born. But
Mm.
yeah, I think the first one was held in 2011, somewhere around
Mm.
there. So it's a pretty young sport, and it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
taken on an exponential growth cycle in recent years, and it's kind of gone from like, will we ever run 80 loops in a backyard
yeah,
ultra, to
yeah.
now like there's, I don't know, there's almost, I want to say there's 10 or almost 20 of us in the world that have run over 100 loops now,
Oh wow.
and like a good handful of us that have run more than 100 multiple times.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess it's kind of more interesting, right? Because the run, you don't know what the finish line is, so it's like just literally survival. And this man,
Straight up. Yeah. You try not to think about that, because that will be your undoing. It's like
yeah,
you just
right, yeah,
focus on your job and break it into
just
little
get
bits. Because if you think about the
yeah,
open-ended nature of this thing, yeah, it'll unravel you.
yeah, for sure. Crazy. So do you do many ordinary races, like just straight distance races as well?
Yeah, straight up. I mean, like,
Oh, okay.
obviously, like, focusing on ultra marathons. I do 50s, I do hundreds, I do 100
Okay.
miles, I do backyard ultra, and then every now and then, if I want to throw a little half marathon in there just for
Oh
a
yeah.
bit of sizzle, or
Shits
a
and gigs.
5K, then I will. But yeah, like last year I did 11 ultra marathons, and that
Wow.
was a
Okay.
mixture of 50s, hundreds, 100-mile backyard ultra, and I won I won 6 out of 11 races. I came second in 2. I got a 5th, and then I got a couple of thanks for comings, which,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they were bonus races anyway, so it
yeah,
didn't really matter.
yeah. Right.
I shouldn't have even been there. It was like a week after a really big race, and I was just like, oh, I'll turn up and have some fun.
Yeah, and I guess the preparation for those is just a bit more specific around like speeds and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, even with these slow backyard ultras, I would typically be training like I would for any other race. Like,
Yeah,
I
right.
do high volume and high intensity, and yeah, like to go fast.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I guess the faster you go, the more rest you get.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, we did a workout today, which is the exact same workout as we did last week with the rest and no rest. Oh, it was like most people couldn't. It was like you had to do a certain amount of calories per minute per machine, and it got slightly progressively worse until you dropped off. But then we did the exact same one with rest. The rest was fucking gold. It was just like, yeah, yeah, and that was only a like 45-minute workout. So the mind boggles that you guys do it. Cool. So nice. So you've got the world champs coming up? Sounds like your schedule's pretty full on. Do you have many other races between then?
Yeah, I've got UTMB on the 29th of August, which is Ultra Trail Mont Blanc. It's the
Yeah.
trail running world championship in France. And so I've got the 173-kilometer race there. So I fly out in a few weeks to start training for that, which I'm
Yeah,
sure
no.
my legs will be at least starting to work by then, and then I'll get a bit of training in the French Alps at altitude, and I'll go and run
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I've got 6 weeks, I think, to recover before the Back Out Ultra World Championships. I've got 2 World Championships this year. Once that's out the way, I don't really know. My calendar is the least packed out in advance that it's been in the last couple of years, and I'm just I'm gonna see, try and have a few more adventures and try and do
Yeah.
some
No,
new races and go to new places and just have fun with it. Is kind of the
yeah.
slogan at the moment. I just want to have a bit more fun.
Yeah. Nice. Do you, yeah, I kind of forgot that you have to, if you're traveling somewhere, especially at altitude and stuff, you'd need to be in that environment for weeks beforehand, I guess.
Arguably, I mean, at the end of the
It's just
day,
easier.
there is an altitude adaptation that occurs.
Oh, yeah.
So you do physically adapt a little bit, but a big part of it is just like mentally adapting.
Mm.
There's and learning what it's like to run in a low oxygen environment.
Mm.
And I'm really lucky that in Christchurch here for a number of years we had a high altitude gym which
Oh,
basically
yeah.
had a room, had a gym room
Yeah.
where they had a machine that sucked all the oxygen out and pumped in
Mm.
nitrogen and simulated really high altitude. So there was a good couple of years there where I was training at simulated altitude, and I just learned
Nice.
all the tricks of the trade of running in those environments and how to slow down and how to breathe harder and just manage it and be a little bit uncomfortable. So even though I'm not training at altitude, I am definitely altitude trained, and
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be in that environment. But yeah, I'll definitely give myself a couple of weeks in that environment and doing a bit of training just to make it a little bit more comfortable and get used to it again. And and ensure that I don't have any physiological reactions to it,
Yeah.
because some people can have bad reactions like gastrointestinal
Oh, yeah.
shutdown. Basically, you just have less function of your gastrointestinal system, so maybe your digestion's a little bit impacted, and as a
Mm.
result, you're throwing what you would normally throw down the hatch, but it's not
Mm.
absorbing, and then that's when you have the system rejects it, and then you throw up, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh damn, that was like 2 hours worth of hydration and food, and it's all come up, and I'm behind now. So yeah, that's one thing to consider.
What would what sort of advice would you give anyone looking to get into ultra ultras? Like, do you have to be like? Is it something that anyone can just pick up, like, and just
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, like,
yeah,
just
just
get
takes
stuck
time?
in. I mean, like, obviously, like, try not to bite off more than you can chew immediately, or if you do, like, it's gonna knock you about a bit, but don't get too disheartened. I mean, like, I was not a great ultra runner off the bat.
Mm.
Like, it took
Yeah.
me a few years of practice and racing and figuring this stuff out. But yeah, you just start running and do some races, and you get involved with the community like anything, and you learn. Yeah, you suck for a while and you just embrace it, because you suck when you start anything, and then eventually, hopefully, it gets a little bit easier, or at least a little bit less sucky, and yeah, maybe you can enjoy it a bit more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, with ultra marathon, you're dealing with not just the running community, but in particular the trail community, the
Mm.
trail running community mostly, and like they're very welcoming and
Yeah.
very community centric, and yeah, it's a good group of people to be with.
Yeah. No.
You've got your elites like everything. Yeah, for the most part, 90% of people were just plodding along doing their
Yeah.
thing, trying to have a bit of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then in terms of your coaching, how long have you been doing it as a business and coaching?
Yeah, so I mean, I started coaching when I was in high school,
Wow.
but like mostly rugby. So my
Yeah.
background in coaching
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
was rugby. I started in high school and then coached kids and age grade
Mm.
and seniors at club level. And then in 2016, when I was 23, I think, I moved to the States to play and coach rugby over there. And I
Oh,
did a
yeah.
few seasons going back and forth doing that. So coaching seniors, coaching men's and women's grades. Yeah. At the same time, going back and forth, doing lots of rugby. That's my main thing. And getting a little bit deeper and deeper into endurance sports. And eventually I figured I wanted to repurpose my coaching and leading and teaching abilities that I'd kind of honed over a decade into teaching. Into teaching endurance athletes, because that was kind of becoming my thing now. But at the same time, it's like my philosophy is like, I would prefer a street smart teacher than a book smart teacher. I want someone who's done what I want to do and kind of and walk the walk, and yeah, essentially do before you teach. So I had the credibility in rugby to go and coach overseas, because like I'd done it my whole life. Kiwi dude playing pretty high level, well, high enough level rugby, going overseas, and I was doing it, but I didn't really have the credibility to do the same in endurance sport. So I just decided, like, put your head down, and run and train and race and win all the races and get all the national titles or world records or national records or whatever's, and eventually you'll have the credibility. And I kind of did that for longer than I needed to, because I kept on kicking the can down the road, saying I'm not good enough. Like, nah, you've got the national title, now get the world title.
It's another thing to chase.
It's never any good enough. And then eventually, middle of 2023, I was like, yeah, no, you've ticked all the boxes, and you've ticked all the boxes multiple times over. It's like time to go. So I've been full time running and coaching runners since middle of 2023. So just over 2 years now.
And you just, if you're away and stuff, you just touch base when you can, let's work out timetables, or do you have like time off when you compete?
I took time off last week and the week before. Week before I was racing, obviously, and last week I was a vegetable and was just terrified of sitting in front of the computer. I still wrote training plans last week. It was cross-eyed and it was really hard to do, but I pumped them out and got them sent out to my athletes. But yeah, no, typically I am talking to my athletes all day, every day. I'm sending out emails. I'm replying. I don't typically take time off. I might, like, say if I've got a week-long race like I did for Dead Cow Gully, then typically I'll do that week's office work, and then I'll do the next week's office work. So whilst I'm running, everybody who was due for whatever has already got their stuff a week in advance, so they're cool. And I've spent the last couple of days catching up on the 1 week of office work that I've missed out on.
Yeah, nice. Cool, man. And if someone was keen to get hold of you, are you looking for more clients still, or are you flat out?
I'm kind of full at the moment, but like, it's always a revolving door with athletes. As you know, it's like you never know what life situation is going to befall someone. They might lose their job, something might happen, and they need to go. Or I mean, like, often with some athletes, like, it's a terminal endeavor. It's like, this is the mission, or these are the missions. They identify them with you, and it's like I get them fit and get them to execute on that race and win that race, or finish successfully, and then they go their own way. So it's whilst I'm not looking at the moment, there's always potential for people to come on board, and if they're good and they want to run, then
find you on your website, or what's the best way of contacting you?
Yeah, my website's there if they don't want to have a conversation before they book an appointment. But in the first instance, it's just like, fire me a message on Instagram. Like, I'm pretty quick to respond, unless it's after a record or something, and then I get flooded, and I'm like, okay, give me a few days, and we'll try and churn through these. But for the most part, I'm pretty quick to respond to anybody, and have a conversation, lock something in, figure out what'll work and what won't.
Nice. We'll chuck a few links on the show notes, and you can, if anyone's interested.
Appreciate it.
Cool, man. Thanks for your time. It's bloody interesting. My mind boggles doing this, like some of the stuff you've done. I was going to ask. I was going to look it up on ChatGPT before, but I forgot. How many people in the world do you think have run? I don't know how many you said done the 100 laps? It was like 20 or something, was it?
Less than 20.
Less than 20. Crazy.
Maybe a dozen.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Shit, that's mad. And then I imagine there must, even like 80 would still be bugger all, wouldn't it? That would be like,
Correct.
Well, so how many people into that race?
About 250. Statistics wise, I think because I have a young fella who I've taken through a few of these races successfully in the last few months, and he kind of punched above his weight by running a 50 loop backyard ultra. He's 21, so he's the youngest guy in the world, as far as I'm aware, to have gone that far.
Yeah.
And there's only 200 people in the world who have run 50 loops or 50 hours in a backyard ultra.
Wow, right.
So it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And there's like tens of thousands of people who have done this type of racing. So there's not many people that run that far or in that period of time. You're getting to one or two or a dozen pretty much ever.
Yeah. It's pretty lean little group. Awesome, man. I appreciate your time, and really interesting listen to how you go about what you do, and I'll keep following, and we'll chuck up some clips and stuff some of your pearls of wisdom.
No, I appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.